What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Let's talk about it. This is Black Lightning Season 2, Episode 14, 13, 14, 15. One of those episodes. This episode was a pretty good episode. A lot more plot development. We getting some new characters and some old familiar faces. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. So this one is called The Book of Secrets, Chapter 4, Original Sin. And we see our boy, okay, back from the dead, back again and again. Okay, he back for the third time. Lala is back at it. He comes into the high school. He has a gun in his arm. He walked down to the administration offices. He sees that Jeff is not in the administration offices anymore. So he walks somewhere more. He finds a classroom, and it's Jefferson's classroom. So he goes in the classroom. Jeff looks up and is like, Dontavius. I don't know what the nigga name is. Dariante. Don't call me by my name. You know, I don't go by that no more. That's disrespectful. He like, look, I ain't trying to be disrespectful. You know, you just caught me off guard. I thought you was dead. And he was like, I was dead, bitch. I was dead 2 times. And I was gone for a minute, but now I'm back with the jump off. I'm alive again. Woo! He knew he would be there. He knew that Jeff would be working late, but he didn't think he would be grading papers. Wasn't he the principal? And he's like, yeah, I was the principal, but you know, I ain't the principal no more. He sees the cameras that's in the classrooms, and Jeff tells him, look, the camera is recording everything. And he points his gun at the camera like he's going to shoot it, but then he said, that's okay. He said, that's good. I don't understand. Jeff is like, listen, why are you here? He says he's here to see him. They go back and forth with like some quotes, like, you know, this and that and that and that, and this is Shakespeare and this is whatever. Lala turns and shoots Jeff in the shoulder, straight up. Okay, he says he's there because he have unfinished business. He needs answers. The voices in his head are telling him, or the voice tells him that the answer is about Jeff or has to do with Jeff and Earl. He says Earl was like a brother. And Jeff calms himself down because he was about to black lightning his ass, okay? But he like calmed himself down a little bit and turns around. Lala says that Jeff must have killed Earl. And he gonna tell him why. Jenn and Gamby, and Jenn is all excited about designing her suits. She's getting all these costumes together and, you know, looking at all these fur shawls and all type of stuff. And you know, they like, Lynn comes in and she's like, listen, we not worried about the shit being cute. We worried about, is it going to keep you safe? And then he pulls out this old suit, the original Black Lightning suit. If y'all a comic book person, you'll know what that is. And he shows it to him like, this is the suit. It protected your dad, but we had to make sure the suit was right because it was hurting your dad as well. So we had to fix that aspect of the suit. So we got to make sure it's safe is what they're trying to say. Jenn is still gung-ho about the suit, child. She's still happy about it. Jeff says to Lala, why do you think I killed Earl? Now, inside of him, you remember he has all the people he has killed. They're like inside of him. So he got old boy. I don't remember what the nickname was, but the one who was trying to get at Jenn or whatever, and he got killed. And then he got LaWanda. I don't know if her name is LaWanda or LaWanda was the daughter, but LaWanda is what we gonna call her, okay? So LaWanda and old boy is arguing back and forth inside of his head, right? They arguing back and forth. And Jeff like, who is you talking to, nigga? Like, who you talking to? Old boy said, blast him, kill him, be done with him. And LaWanda is like, do you think that killing another person is gonna make you happy? Going back and forth. And Jeff says that he can help him, you know, deal with whatever he dealing with, because he think that he going through some type of schizophrenic, you know, episode. And Lala tells them all to shut up, or he gonna shoot everybody. He throw a chair and tell everybody shut up. He says to Jeff to tell him what he want to know, or he gonna die. And then that's it. Jenn comes in the room and talks about Annisa, or Jenn comes in the room to talk to Annisa about, you know, nothing. Mom and dad driving her crazy about the suit. And she catches Annisa looking at the picture of Grace. And she says to Annisa, why don't you just go after her? And Annisa says, I did try to go after her. Well, you lucky you even have somebody to go after. You can still have a chance at having something real. And my luck went out the window when Khalil died. And, you know, Annisa tries to comfort her, and she's like, listen, it is what it is. That's just the situation right now. Go ahead and find your girl. Go find Grace. And then we see Lynn calling Jeff. Lynn calls Jeff about Jenn, about the suit, telling her, can you call her? Can you talk to her? You know, she worried about fashion, not about the safety of the suit. Call me and let me know. I thought we said we was going to check in. You know, I haven't heard from you all day. Please call her back. So she goes to step into the testing room with Wendy. So Wendy is the girl that got out last week or the week before last, and one of them weeks, child, and she was whooping shit around. You know, she was whipping shit around like Storm. She's testing her with like some kind of wind test, and Odell is there. He steps in, and he tells her that he doesn't mean to coddle Wendy because Wendy is not her child. And then he goes into this speech about how these people, you know, with costumes on and they think they relevant in society, but the only relevance they have in society is how they're going to be able to serve their country. Basically, he's saying they're not human beings. These are just machines, okay? He likened her to a machine gun. And Lynn is there. We're here to make sure that she gets strong and that she gets healthy. And he says, no, we're here so that she can reach her full potential. I ain't got time to wait. Is that clear? And Lynn is like, listen, these are my patients. I refuse to check their humanity at the door. She's yelling at him as he's basically walking out the door on her. Henderson meets with Gamby. He can't come up with the name from the image that he showed him on the video. Because remember, he showed him like a grainy image of somebody. And Gamby been looking around. The image is tied. And then Gamby been trying to look around for the number. And he's narrowed it down to like 3 people. And one of those people is a known associate of Tobias. Henderson goes off with that information. So we're back with Jeff and Lala, and Jeff gets the bullet when Lala is turned around, you know, going back and forth in his head. He gets the bullet out of his arm, and he kind of shears off the wound. And Lala's still tripping, okay? He tells him that Earl was a great student, that he could have been anything he wanted to be. He won science fairs, and he did this, and he did that. And do you know he even won a talent show one time? He had a voice like an angel. He thinks about him every day, and he thought that him and Earl, he thought that, you know, Dontavius and Earl, Lala, were going to be successful. And Lala is just like, it's still blank, it's still blank. I guess he's supposed to be thinking that he's going to figure out, you know, whatever, why he can't die all the way. And he says, it's blank, it's blank. I know that you know more. Tell me that you know more. Earlier, when they showed the brother, when they said Earl, and they showed, you know, his picture that he was in the basketball goal. Do you remember it from season 1 when Lala killed his brother and put him in that basketball goal, right? Jeff says he does not know what happened to the boy. All he knows is how the police found him or how he was found. And he says the police dismissed it. They didn't, you know, come up with nobody. They dismissed it as a gang killing. And he says, well, do you think it was the 100? They was pressing him at the time. And he said, yes, I think it was the 100. Well, why? Because Earl came to me and said that they were threatening him. And I told him to go to the police. He thought that he would be safe. To which Lala is like, man, why you told him to do that? You know how it go down. You know what happened. Like, you know, he goes to shoot him and LaWanda jump up and she knocked the gun out of his hand, and then the old boy jump up and they start fighting each other inside his head, and LaWanda was whipping his ass. Lala is just watching it all go down, and he throwing a kick or two to the boy too. He finally tells them to quit fighting. And Jeff says, let's get out of here alive. You know, let's both stop this and let's both get out of here alive. And he says, listen, I can't die. Okay, so even if I wanted to, boo-boo, I can't die. He gonna need more than a gun to save his ass, because when they got in a tussle, Jeff and him was fighting and LaWanda and them was fighting too. But when they got in a tussle, he took the gun from Lala. So he's basically saying you're gonna need more than that to save your ass. And Jeff is taking he took the bullets and stuff out of the gun. We see Henderson, he at work, he get into his office and another officer comes in and he's telling her run this, run that, you know, trying to find out who Todd is. And she tells him, we got an identification on the body in the car that we found blew up on the side of the road. And it's Todd Grant. That's the guy. He dead. And he like, well, damn, you know, there go that lead. Lynn is trying to go into the lab and another doctor comes out and her swiper won't work. It's red. She don't have access. And the doctor comes out and she like, can you just wipe me in real quick? I don't know what's going on. And he was like, I can't let you into the area right now with the patient. They got a test going on. So she runs around the corner. I guess they have like a viewing area where they can view. And she looking through the window, banging, screaming, let me in. And Odell is in there with the girl testing her, basically very rigorously. Lynn is screaming that the girl gonna have an aneurysm. They need to stop. Please stop, please stop. And he don't give a damn, child. He just sitting up there watching that girl, and the girl just going through, child, in a damn wind tunnel, tornado, fucking monsoon ass shit. Okay, I don't know. Jeff says history is at the root of what is troubling Lala. So he has some old yearbooks that they had at the school scanned and put into an archive. So he starts to look up something on the computer, and he turns the computer around, and it's Earl. I'm assuming that is Earl, his brother, or like his brother, right? Annisa is going over the information that Gambi gave her about the address of the foster parents, or something he gave her about an address to where Grace is. So she's at this door and she's knocking on the door and she tells him, listen, I just want some information. I just want to know if Grace is okay. She's not in trouble. You know, it's nothing like that. I'm just looking for her. And so somebody comes out and it's an Asian man and he tells her trouble will find her if she stays there, that she need to get her ass up out of there, okay? She tries to see what's going on and she hear like animal sounds. I was like, what the fuck going on? Like, it's animal sounds and shit. Like, what's happening, okay? And so she grabbed the door to try to like wedge her way in the door, and he shut the door in her face. And then when he turns around, we see his eyes, and then he like shapeshifts into Grace. So Grace is like a shapeshifter or something like that. So Jeff is asking these questions to Lala. He's saying, who is that? Can you see him? Can you remember what he looked like or where he lived? And he said he lived right next door. Was he involved in anything sketchy? And Lala says, well, not really. I mean, he's so dope like we did, you know, with the 100, but he wasn't built for that life, and he wanted out. Even when he went out, I tried to. And then he stops. Lala said he was looking to move up. So when Homeboy said he wanted to leave, or when Earl said he wanted to get out the game, he got him a free pass. Jeff is like, well, why did they mess with him? And Lala's like, nigga, why you think? Because you told him to go to the police, nigga. The free pass was revoked once they find out, because Tobias had officers that worked in the department. So once they found out that it was him that had went to the police, then, you know, they want to kill him. He's talking and talking and talking, because you can tell he don't remember what happened. So he's talking himself through the whole thing, and he's like, boom, I wanted to move up. And so I knew that they were going to they would get him as payback, so I killed him. And why was like, he did kill him. I do remember that. He said he was going to get got anyway, so that's why he had to kill him. And he was like, well, why did you do that? And Lala says, because I was tired of being poor. He wanted to move up, and he had to show Tobias that he was serious about what he wanted to do. Jeff tells him to turn himself in, and he like, nah, I ain't going to turn myself in. I'm going to make Tobias pay for what he did to me. But you did it, though. You did it, fam. I don't understand. Tobias ain't make you kill nobody. They trade off another quote and something about the past and the future being perfect. And he says, who is that who do the quote? This is Jeff. And Lala says, Zadie Smith. I don't know her, but I feel like I should look up her quotes now. She also said that every moment happens twice, inside and outside. And there's two different histories. He says that he's sorry and he thanks him for everything that he's done. And then he leaves. I was like, wow, Lala is really an interesting character. He has really turned out to be an interesting character in this whole series. People who like are connected with the comic book, can y'all leave in the comments what his character name is? Or is this just a whole new character? Or does this character appear in the comic books in any type of way? I want to know, because I feel like I really like his character and it's interesting to me, his whole story and everything. So as he leaves and he's in the hallway, he turns around and who does he see? Earl. And Earl take off running, bitch, like he was in Get Out. And he jumped dead into this man's body, and the man got another tattoo with Earl on it. So now he got 3 people living inside of him, child, a whole damn lot. Henderson is still up in his office, and he calls Gambi and lets him know about Ty being dead. And he says he can possibly identify, or Gambi says he can possibly identify what was taken from that clinic if he can like find out about the radioactive whatever, okay? And, you know, Henderson is like, just let him know what's up when he find out the information. Jennifer comes down to see the suit, and she loves the suit. She hugs him. She jumps up, and she wants to take a picture, and he's like, no, I don't think that's appropriate. She act like 3 or 4 times, like, bitch, why would you take a picture? That would be the stupid Listen, Jennifer is a teenager, because that's the dumbest thing you could do is take a picture of the damn suit with you not in the suit, girl. All somebody had to do was get your phone, and they would expose your secret. But who are me? He tell her no finally. She like, okay, well, can I try it on? So she gets into the little circle thing. She tries on the suit. The suit does not, or the suit fits her fine, and she dancing around and everything. But when she started doing the moonwalk, sparks start to occur, okay? And a fire breaks out, or like a little smoke or whatever, and Gambi comes and let her out of the little circle sphere thing. She's just like, no, it's my fault. You know, I should have, you know, took it easy and just waited. I was a little too gung-ho. So I think she learned a lesson about her suit being safe more so than it being cute. She has learned this lesson. Annisa goes back to the apartment as Thunder this time, and she busts up in the apartment, okay? So she walking through the rooms, and she sees a mutilated animal on the ground. What do that have to do with a shapeshifter? Is the bitch a lion, a leopard? Like, why do you have a half-eaten? What was that? Was that a donkey? Was it a horse? Was it a dog? Like, I couldn't even tell what the shit was. Was it a goat? I don't even much know, child. Okay, somebody tell me what it was, because it just disturbed my spirit how it was towed up like that, okay? And I feel like Peter gonna be right. Y'all let better because I ain't need to see that. She go around, she walking around the house and she hear a voice telling her, you need to leave this house right now, bitch. Get the fuck out or you gonna get hurt. Oh, leave now, bitch. No. And she don't leave and she see the little man around the corner, which is Grace, and they begin to fight like a regular fight. And, you know, Thunder is whooping that ass. You know, she winning. She throwing chairs and couches and all type of stuff. And then after, you know, Grace realized, or he, the man, Grace, whoever, shapeshift and realized that they losing the fight, they turn their real powers on and start whooping her ass, right? And so they back and forth, they fighting again. And in some kind of way, Annisa throw a couch and it lands on top of the person. And when she go to pick the couch up, they're not there anymore, okay? So where is Grace and how did she leave? I want to know. Lynn is coming home talking about her day, about Odell being a sociopath, watching that girl almost die. She compared how he compared her to an animal or a weapon, and she's only being paid to weaponize children, and she don't know if she can do that. And then she asked Jennifer about her day and about the suit, and Jennifer says it's good, and she like, good, that's it. And she like, well, you know, I care more about the suit being safe than about it being cute. Now, basically, I learned my lesson, mama, okay? And so then Jeff comes home. Obviously, he done had a hard ass day, right? And she's like, I called you. Why didn't you answer the phone? Why didn't you call me back? I haven't heard from you all day. We're supposed to check in. We're supposed to do this, supposed to do that. And then Annisa comes out and she's getting stuff out of the closet cabinet, and she's talking about her day was rough. She asked them the question about when is somebody worth or more trouble than they're worth. And Jennifer is like, well, you should ask mama that because, you know, mama, you regular, and, you know, dad, he's like, you know, like the rest of us. So it was a moment they had where they saw that, you know, they're different. And it's hard for a regular person or a person who don't have powers to, like, you know, be in love with you and deal with all the stuff that comes with being with you. And then she says, you know, that's why I loved Khalil, because he loved me with my flaws and everything, my weirdness and everything. And I feel like everybody deserves or needs love like that. And so it was a cute little moment. Jeff goes on and he starts to tell them about the day. And then, you know, he's like, you know what? I'm just going to leave that at work. That's fine. You know, it's over now. We here now. Let's eat. Let's drink. Let's be merry. And then we see surveillance. And it kind of looked like Gamby from the back, but I had a feeling that it wasn't Gamby, okay? And so somebody, I mean, they got audio and video, honey. They know all the tea. They done told all the business at the table, child, so they know all about them. Allah is driving, and we see a flashback. So the flashback was from 2 months ago, and a man, we can't see who the man is, but he's like pouring liquid into these giant containers. They're like, tanks that hold like people, but they're like fragments of people. They're still like coming together or whatever. It's weird. And he's like dropping parts. I don't know if it's body parts. I don't know if it's animal parts. I don't know if it's fish. I don't know what the hell he dropping. It might be parts of their body, dropping it into, you know, this tank, and it forms like into this people, right? It forms into people. When he looked up, I said, bitch, it's Eddie Kane Jr., bitch. Can't nobody sing like Eddie Kane. Nights like this, I wish that raindrops would fall. Can't nobody sing like Eddie Kane Jr. So Eddie Kane Jr. out there looking creepy than a bitch. Pours this stuff into this tank and the body forms Lala. Okay, so that's how he got rejuvenated or reanimated or whatever they call it. And then we see him on a table and he patched to a whole bunch of monitors. He sits up and he removes all the, you know, the monitors off of him, the little stickers. And he says, why won't you let me die? I'm just trying to die. And Eddie Kane tell him, listen, because you still have work to do. It's tied to Jefferson and Earl, and your past will give birth again and again until you untie the knot that the pain has caused or whatever. Then he says redemption and peace will follow. Okay, and he's just like, well, how can I get to the redemption and the peace part? Okay, he like, well, you won't know that until you untie the knot. That's when you will find out. So he basically like, you done talked me in the damn circle, okay? He pissed off. He get in the car and he drives away. And then he got LaWanda and he got Homeboy in the car with him. And they going back and forth about Tobias and how Tobias done killed your ass twice. You think you gonna kill him again? Or, you know, you think you can do it? Nah, you can't do it. No, if you gonna do it, you gotta be smart. You gotta be savage. You gotta be cunning. You gotta be this. You gotta be that. And it gotta be different. And old boy is like, well, how is this time different from the last time? And this is my redemption. No matter what, he's going to kill Tobias. And I was like, all right, Lala, you done tried this here like twice already, and it ain't work, fam. But he said he gonna bring him, you know, he gonna bring the justice back for Freeland. And I was like, okay, so he kind of on a good team. He a thug, but he not on the bad team. He fighting for, you know, what we trying to fight for. Okay, Lala? I like Lala. Then we go back to the surveillance, and we see that it's Odell that's surveilling them. And so he asked the girl, does anybody else know about this particular, you know, surveillance that we have going on? And the girl is like, no, this feed don't exist on the satellite. Everything is encrypted. Nobody knows. It's classified, 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 classified. He was like, okay, good. So they all get up to go home, and he shoot all of them in the room, child. And we see on the camera, they swoop in, and we see that Jenn is taking a picture, and as she's taking a picture, it says connecting to the phone. So they can connect to her phone, child, through the other picture. I said, child, this too much. Odell know all their business, and he gonna blackmail Lynn with that. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. I thought this episode was very good. I thought it was very informational. We got a lot of stuff moving forward. I'm excited to see what Grace is going to turn out to be, like what type of creature she is going to be, because listen, I can accept a lot of shit, but I can't accept you eat no animals shit, girl. You got to eat people, and I mean, like, what's the tea? What do you need to be, like, healthy and happy? Girl, I hope it's not small animals and people, because, girl, that we couldn't make it. We wouldn't be able to make it. But I know that I'm not a comic book person, like I've said 1,000 times, but I know that she's a part of the Outsiders, or her character is a part of the Outsiders. So I don't know if they're gonna tie that into this, because Gotham is about to go off. I don't watch Gotham, but I know this is the last season, because they say that shit every time it come on, okay? I'm interested to see how that's gonna work out. I want to see if they're gonna ever introduce, probably not this season, but if they're gonna introduce another love interest for Jennifer. And also, it's be interesting to see how this whole thing with Lala develops. I can't lie. They got me with the Lala. They hooked me, okay? Because we thought he was dead. He had been dead once, twice, 3 times, okay? He done been back. This is third time, or second. This is third time coming back, okay? He done been dead twice. So, you know, we're going to see what to do with him or whatever. So I want to hear your thoughts about this week's show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share my video with all your friends. If you would like to follow me on social media, you can at Who is April Dawn. And I will holler at y'all next week. Peace.